Out at the Specialty Equipment Market Association show in Las Vegas, we were able to catch up with Robby Gordon to find out a little bit about his race truck and his efforts in the Baja 1000.
I'm Andy Cohen with Sport Truck Connection Television. I'm here today with Robby Gordon at the SEMA show in the Explore ProComp booth. And we're going to talk a little bit about what makes this F-150 so special from the one you drive on the street. Robby?
Hi Andy, how are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
Doing good, thanks. Well, the 150 we built at Team Gordon is quite a bit different than what the F-150 you buy at your local dealer. Starting many different things, but it starts with the engine. The engine's been located at the rear of the car, sits back around behind the two drivers in the middle, turned around 180 degrees the other way. It then has a transmission going forward to a V-drive that then sends the drive shaft in the right direction, backs towards the rear end, off to the left-hand side. The pumpkin is offset about 1.5 feet to the left, so it'll clear the engine package.
Well, let's talk about wheel travel in this truck. Obviously, these tires are not what you're going to find in the showroom. These are 37 inches tall?
Yeah, BF Goodrich makes a special off-road racing tire. It's 37 inches tall. It's a Kevlar line tire, a lot like a bulletproof vest. Very strong in the desert. We make our own off-road wheels, which Ultra Wheel makes the mold and the cast for us, and they produce it for Team Gordon, which is a new wheel that's on the market for your street truck as well.
Excellent. Now, remote reservoir shocks, coilover shocks, what do we got going on under here?
Well, the shocks, actually we make those as well in-house. They're in-house Team Gordon shock, which we sell them to very few people, but we do sell a few of them. They're a remote reservoir air over oil shock. The temperature on them runs about 500 degrees, so a lot different than a normal shock absorber that you'll run on your normal street vehicle. The reason for that is the wheel travel has about 28 inches of wheel travel in the front, has 36 inches of wheel travel in the rear. The front suspension is a dual A-arm with a rack and pinion steering. The rear suspension is a 4-link trailing arm system with a V-bar up top. It works as independent, even though it's a solid axle. It articulates back and forth to keep the wheels on the ground. Has a sway bar to keep the car balanced as well, though.
Let's go in the office here and take a look. What do we have going on over here?
Well, inside this car, it's a 2-seat race car. The transmission and V-drive are in between the two of us as far as seating position. It has a Motec electronic fuel injection system with a full Motec digital readout dash like we would have in our Indy cars at the Indianapolis 500. It's a very similar dash to what we run there. It obviously has an aircraft-style switch panel with remote fuses and breakers built into those. The engine behind us makes the car pretty safe. The engine and fuel is all behind us. That's a good thing.
Now, we know you're busy when you're riding in this race truck. You've got a lot going on, but how busy is your co-driver during the race?
That guy is a very important part of the race program because he dictates if we make a left or a right-hand turn. Obviously, I can see the road in front of me, but he'll tell me how sharp that turn is and what's on the other side of it. 2 to 3 turns before I get there. So that guy's really important. Greg Till's been my co-driver for about 3 years now, and I think he plays a very important role in our race-winning process.
Now, let's just talk real briefly. What have we got in the back? We got some spares happening here. What do you carry with you when you take, for example, you're going to attack the Baja in a very short period of time. What are you taking with you? Yeah,
November 21st is the Baja 1000. As far as parts inside the race car, we don't carry a lot of spare parts. We try to keep our car as light as possible because weight is speed.
All right, now, let's tell our viewers, how many people are you going to take with you to follow you through Baja to make sure you get to the finish line before anybody else?
This year's Baja 1000 effort will probably have a 50-man crew on our men and women, I should say, on our team. Probably 7 or 8 chase vehicles, a helicopter over the vehicle during daytime, and a twin-engine aircraft over the race car at nighttime.
So it's very important to have a qualified crew to take with you to Baja. Now, what size engine are you using, and then how much fuel are you going to use?
The fuel we'll use, we get about 3 miles to the gallon. On board, we can carry 75 gallons of race fuel. We run Turbo Blue race fuel. And the engine is based around a Ford small block Windsor, but it's different. It's an aluminum block built by Leon Patton Racing Engines in Hemet, California. Like I said, it has Motec fuel injection. Makes it up in the upward 800 horsepower range.
Excellent. You use an automatic or a stick shift transmission?
We run an automatic transmission. Steve Collane's been doing our transmission for a long time. It is a 3-speed automatic, and we make a billet converter for it. Rusty at TCI does a converter for us, and really works good.
Well, excellent. I appreciate your time. I know you're busy, so we're going to let you get back at it. Thanks very much for being on the show, and good luck at Baja.
All right, thank you.
Shortly after our interview, Robby went on to open up a 10-minute lead over his nearest competitor, but unfortunately, mechanical problems slowed him down to a third-place finish in the Baja 1000.